Hello and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion. With the formats all changed, we are here for the Limit of Adhesion Endurance Season 1. Back in the commentary booth, we've got your favourite commentary duo. No, not Dom and Jules, they're covering the sprint, but you got Mark and Steve. So Steve, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Ciao, come stai? Va bene? Fantastic, it's lovely to be here in northern Italy. Back
was
to
that
my
Italian
roots.
You were trying there?
Just a little bit, yeah. Back to my roots. Family over there, so yeah, it's great to be back. Looking forward to this one, Mark.
Brilliant. So yes, it's probably worth running through all the new changes that we've had to the seasons so far. So now there's none of this USF, none of the prototypes, all of that's gone out the window. We've got Prime, Sprint and Endurance. Sprint, as the name suggests, sprint races. Endurance, as the name suggests, endurance races, and the Prime is a little bit of a mix of both. So this right here is the Endurance series. So we've got GTPs versus GT3s. The race will be an hour and 45 minutes. No, an hour and 30 minutes long.
Don't put an extra 15 minutes on us, Mark, come on.
Yes. Right, so, as we can see there, we've got some GT3s, followed closer by the GTP as they went into, that was Aqua Minerale, and yeah, it's going to be good to get a bit of multi-class action. So last season we had the the LMP2s and LMP3s, so yeah, we've taken that one step further, and as you can see the event format pop up on screen now. Yeah, we've got an hour of qualifying, an hour of practice, half an hour of qualifying, and a 90-minute race, and then points showing up on screen as well.
Yeah, for this race we're going 30 minutes qualifying, but it's a mixed qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see how the two classes mix, whether there's going to be a few fallings out or punch-ups in the pits. We shall see in about 35 minutes. And it's nice to know that there's a lot of teams here that there we can see the calendar for the rest of the season, so take a good look at that while we're talking over the top of it, basically. Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of teams here, a lot of new drivers. Welcome everybody that's joined in the past few weeks to the league. It's great to have you on board, and we're looking forward to some really close and frenetic racing, as I like to call it. So yeah, it'd be nice to see. We've got a mixture of animals here as well. I've noticed that we've got a total and utter menagerie of animals and teams. Camels, llamas, toads, frogs. Fantastic. So yeah, we got the first grid of the season. We have Merrin, who've been taking pole position with Ture Molarin second. Oh, that's gone a bit too quick. David Lugalkeki P5 and Alex Murphy P6.
Miller and Parker in 7th and 8th.
Followed by Zhao Tome and Gavin Kelly.
Messenger and Hill in P11 and 12.
13th we see Chris White, followed by James Renwick 14th.
And Bright and Forrester 15th and 16th.
In 17th we have Gareth Winslade and Lewis McManaman 18th.
And Mark Brown and Jacob Hart in 19th and 20th.
That's the GTPs. Into the GT3s. The pole position for the big GT3s is Ben Crook, fantastic there, and Oliver Ettridge in P2.
Followed by Mike Murphy and David Ward on the second row.
Third row is Jay Pratt and Joshua Martinez.
Followed by Tyler Graff and Ben Chalcraft.
Ryan Tazuski in P9 and James Pepper in P10.
Innes in P11 and Le Chatelier in P12.
Well said, that man. Carl Hudson 13th and John Cook 14th.
Meesters and Buller in 15th and 16th.
We're doing well with these names, Mark. Simon Norton P17 and Marek Kishka in 18th.
Philip Miles and Steve Pepper in 19th and 20th.
Followed by Matt Kelly in 21st and Jake Weaver in 22nd. Nice to see Jake back.
Indeed, Stephen McCann in 23rd and Stephen Greening in 24th.
And last but by no means least is Graham Barzi in 25th, and we have Dan LaHaye in 26th. Full grids. Fantastic.
we have a very full grid. It's going to be very interesting to see how the GT3s cope when the GTPs come past them for the first time.
Yeah, I think we need another couple of teams there, Chaos and Mayhem.
Well, we've got the Wizards up the front, maybe they can summon up some chaos.
Yeah, they'll be looking to certainly improve on last season's takings home of trophies and things, and yeah, they'll be looking for big improvements this year.
Indeed. One of the changes that has been implemented is that there is a limit of 3 teams per stable, so we can only have 3 Wizards teams, which makes a change from last season when, especially in the prototypes, it was pretty much if you were on the grid, you were a Wizard.
With the same livery.
Indeed. As we see the drivers come past the pit lane on the start-finish line, and we are racing at Imola. It was a very, very delayed start there.
That was fine.
That was indeed fine, apparently. I'm not sure if everyone shares that opinion, as they go too wide through Tamburello. So this is James Renwick. That lovely bright pink car, as we see there's carnage already. Not all the GT3s have made it through Tamburello. That was Tyler Graff, and oh, that's Pepper going round. And oh, that, yeah, cars all over the track. That was Innes, got a little bit of a tap there. That's Messenger, and I think that was that Mark Brown as well, and Chris White in need a repair. That was certainly quite a bit of chaos, as we see there's another car sideways.
It was, it looked like a very stabby goose there as well.
Well, let's be honest, I'm not surprised he's getting all stabby if he's looking like that. That did not look like a healthy car.
More like an emu.
And we have a caution, which is rather odd, especially for a non-oval series. Here's a replay of what happened there, and that's Tyler Graff, unfortunately going for a little bit of a spin.
Yeah, we have full caution yellow, so everybody should be slowing down now and catching the pace.
That was Lugokeki going around, and that's got rear-ended for good measure as well.
Oh, and another one.
And again. Leave him alone. He's already down.
Yeah, there's a slight contact there on James Pepper's rear end, which turned him round, unfortunately. And once he was sideways, he was a bit of a passenger there, and everybody else had to try and avoid the oncoming carnage.
Indeed. So we've got a caution. It's probably worth talking about that. So cautions can appear in road races. It's not exclusively for oval events. We're still not quite sure what triggers them, but yeah, we've turned them on, and if iRacing deems it an instance to be worthy of a caution, it will throw out a caution.
Yeah, I think we're coming to the end of the caution. I think you've been skipped on slightly, just one lap maybe, so we're all heading towards the end of caution this lap.
Period.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see some good action. Obviously, there the cars in the pits. Well, that's great.
We've got some, and that's Tyler Graff round again. So what's happened there then?
I think that was in the approach to catching the tail end of the field.
Yeah, is that just cars closing up too much, getting a bit caught out? Here's a replay of what happened. So Barsley with a big gap in front. And
absolutely destroyed under
that's
yellow.
very disappointing.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what to say there, to be honest. But yeah, Graff
over to the stewards,
saying that
I think.
he was completely Indeed. Yeah, Graff's commenting that he was completely destroyed under yellow, and yeah, I'd have to agree that doesn't look like an awful lot that he could do about that.
Check out the chicane.
So over to the stewards, and we'll see what they say.
Double file now.
James Pepper just coming up to the that was a GTP.
That's Chris White. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he forget that the GT3s had to go slower than him?
I think he was just trying to. I think he just missed it there. As we're off to green flag conditions nearly.
The safety cars in the pits. Hugavin will take us to the green. And again, he was leaving it quite a while. He's gone now. We're racing once again. We've got on all-wizards podium so far. And make that an all-wizards top 4 as Alex Murphy gets past. That was Jinski, he got past. I do apologise if I've just butchered your name.
Oh, butchers everybody's name, don't worry about it. We had the butchers of names.
I'll tell you what, if I have got your name right, first of all, I'm completely sorry, and secondly, make sure also like, subscribe, and leave a comment as to how we should be pronouncing your name.
Of course, phonetically.
Help that YouTube algorithm out.
That's it. Every like's a like.
Indeed. As you see the top 4, we've got Hugvin from Molarin, from Maxwell, from Murphy in the GTPs. Here we've got the GT3 battle. That's Crook ahead of Murphy, who's ahead of Ettridge. Crook's made a bit of a gap. This is Murphy that we're looking at, with Ettridge right behind, and yeah, Crook's just checked out in front.
Yeah, he's making real gains while everybody else is fighting behind him.
The one here, that was James Renwick. And that's the barrier. Is on board with Innes, getting past a rather slow-moving Renwick. So, after the carnage of the first few laps, hopefully it'll start to settle down a little bit. We've got Greening there, who's made up 12 places already. I think he was last on the grid, having not qualified, or certainly near the back. And yeah, he's storming through the field currently.
He is, yeah. Doing really well.
As we see...
That's Daniel here with no rear end.
Oh. Indeed it was. We've got a battle here for second. That's Ettridge to the inside of Murphy. That will become the outside. That will become the inside again, and that is the move done. As we see on board with Murphy now. Ettridge just powered through that, made that look easy, and I'll tell you what, Murphy's certainly no slouch, so yeah, well done to Ettridge there.
Yeah, very good.
That was a brilliant move.
Yeah, brilliant move. Well done.
You see Renwick now starting to make his way back past the GT3s. Here is on board with the shouting at me.
Yeah, it doesn't take many laps until the GTPs are catching these GT3s, is it? About 6 laps? 7 laps?
Yes, that sounds about right. It's certainly not going to be too much longer. I mean, you can see the leaders in the GTPs as Pepper and Hudson are going side by side. The leader in the GTPs are crossing the line now, and we've got the last place in the GT3s. It's just coming up to Piratella. That's about halfway around the circuit, so yes, certainly won't be long. As you see, Pepper and Hudson still going side by side, and Bars is going to be wanting to get involved in this fight.
I'm sorry if I spun someone in the
It looks like Varzi just squeezed in front of James Pepper there as well.
Should well have done, yeah. So hopefully we'll go back and see how that battle played out. Look, here's Joshua Martinez with Jake Ward just behind him. There's Dan LaHaye. Does he realise that he's got no rear wing?
No rear end.
No rear end at all.
Well, he won't have any problem with the engine cooling, that's for a start.
No, certainly won't have any problem with understeer either. That is a man who does have a problem with understeer though. Russell Bright going very wide, just not being able to get it turned in with the aero wash sat behind Chris Forrester. He'll want to get past that car before too long, as we see Rob Miller now lining up downhill for a move.
It's great to see such a mix of cars on track as well.
Indeed, it's a nice colourful grid as well.
It is. A lot of these drivers are very closely matched as well, so lap times are very even. Just takes a slight mistake or a bit of an off-track might have to enable another car to get a run on you.
As you see the cars coming through, that's Aqua Minerale.
Why would you call a corner or name a corner after mineral water?
Well, That's a good question, I suppose. Maybe we should do that for all of the corners. So here the cars are now coming down to Evian. These GTPs are now just going... I thought this one was Disani. You see, I've got to get these jokes in because viewers at home will be happy to know that I have been put on a spoon quota. So I'm now no longer allowed to call every corner spoon. So I've got to come up with different names for them because, you know, I can't be sitting here learning all the corner names. That's way too much work. Here's Greening going to having a look on the inside of Clayton Buller. That was into Tapwater corner.
Corporation Pop, my family used to call it.
So we've got quite a lot of animals on the grid, as we were talking about earlier, Steve. So who's your pick? Who's going to be the top animal after today?
Oh, that's... You're asking somebody who's completely biased.
Well, let's have your completely biased opinion then.
My completely biased opinion's Kill Camel Blue. But it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that.
No, it's going to be Cool Camel Green, obviously.
To be honest with you, I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic scene. The menageries battling, shall we say? We've got, like you say, we've got the llamas, we've got the camels, we've got toads, frogs, eagles.
We've got the Stabby Goose.
The Stabby Goose, yeah. Although I think Stabby Goose aren't in with the same. I think majority of the animals are actually registered GT3s. I might be wrong, but I think we've got James Pepper just bouncing across the curves there.
You'll want to be careful about picking up any underfloor damage.
Definitely.
Making moves like that.
Yeah, so it's going to be good to see who comes out on top in the end.
Did I see a toad as well? I'm sure I saw a toad.
Yeah, there is a toad.
That's Hudson. Spun around.
I don't think there's any contact.
To the inside.
Yeah, I don't think
I was going to say, he looked to the inside of Pepper, but I don't think they actually made contact. Here's Stephen Greening at the back of... In fact, that was an animal train. We had a couple of camels and a llama in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Greening is a bit of an animal. I heard that you can find 6 tenths in one corner.
6? I thought it was 8. There's the llama.
There is the llama at the head of the field.
On his tail.
A little bit of a llama train forming. We've got Clayton Buller at the head of this, followed by Greening, Martinez and Ward, all within touching distance of that 11th place. Of course, you do get points for 11th.
And obviously there's a lot of YouTube people on here that release videos. We've got Don Parker on his own channel. We've got Extra Racing for Russell Wright, and also we've got Llamas. They've got their own channel with Clayton Buller, so go and check them out. Leave a like on theirs as well. So yeah, it's good to see all these people releasing footage and content that's LoA based. It's brilliant.
It is absolutely the more the merrier. As we see Renwick hustling the back of Jacob Hart. We'll have to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, we've got in this little gaggle of cars here, we've got Le Chatelier, followed by, I didn't see who that was. That was Chalcraft, I think, followed by Innis, Kishka, and Meesters, all relatively close. That'll be a really good battle to keep an eye on. As we see David Ward goes to what will be the inside of Martinez down towards Tamburello, who will be late on the brakes. As we see GTPs coming through to make it 3 wide.
Code Brown.
That is most definitely a Code Brown.
They come so fast.
As we see, that is Innis defending heavily from Kishka.
Oh, if I replay the bottom there, it looked like a stupid Igori there for a minute.
I definitely saw Koshlinski involved. As we see, Greening still right on the back of Buller, unable to find a way past, especially with the GTPs absolutely rushing past. So here we are, 18 minutes in, and we've got some action. got some multi-class action, and bear in mind, the first few laps of this race was on the safety car, so we will be seeing a lot more of this. So we'll see cars two abreast absolutely everywhere we look. They're going two abreast in the background. There is Don Parker, managing to get through traffic rather safely. He is the highest non-wizard, I believe. And I'm not quite sure what happened to Greening, but I can now see that Ward is right behind Buller rather than Greening, so Greening made a slight mistake perhaps?
Possibly, yeah, he may have got an off track, or I would have thought a bit of spin, but certainly he seems to have gone for a bit of a burden at the moment.
Indeed, so we'll have to see how far back up the order he can climb it. He only lost one position and a bit of time, track position, but he's doing a super job already to be up what was 12 places, now 11 places. So we see Kishka all over the back of Innes. Innes has dropped back from Childcraft slightly. I think that was GTP traffic induced, because I did see him side by side a lap ago through the very anti-alta. Yeah, it's very important when you're dealing with the multi-class traffic to be patient, but also not to lose too much time.
It is, yeah. I mean, but it works both ways, doesn't it? We all need to
yes,
respect
definitely.
each other on track, and it's it's important to be able to read where people are going to go. It's predictable, and just try to avoid each other really at the same time as passing safely.
Indeed. Here's a stabbing goose. Michael Messenger. 13th, closing up on Chris Foster for 12th. Oh, that was a dive up the inside of a GT3. Now back to this battle. We've got Childcraft on the inside of Le Chatelier. And that battle's been raging for quite some time now. We've got Buller right on the back of Steve Pepper. Steve Pepper keeping out of the way of the GTP. That was Lugo Kepi, GTP. And we got
John
one
Cook
round in the background.
It looked like John
yes.
Cook. Yeah. He's got it going again, so he's done a 360, which is good. Hopefully he hasn't contacted the wall, and he's able to carry on.
We've got Clayton Buller still on the back of Steve Pepper in that zoological battle.
Yeah, it looked like there was a slight bit of
It was
contact
David
between
Ward.
him.
Yeah.
David Ward. It looked like it was a slight contact between him and Stephen Greening, and obviously it turned him round. And James Pepper there with a drive-through.
Unfortunately, and another one to add to the menagerie, an eagle.
Oh, an eagle!
Innes now, so after Childcraft's got past Le Chatelier, Innes has closed right up to the back of him. We'll have to see if Innes can make his way past Le Chatelier and try and catch back up to the back of Childcraft.
Clayton Buller's still trying to get past Pepper. He'll probably have a run on him down the main straight through Variante Bassa. You'd never guess that I've got a track man sat next to me, wouldn't you?
I thought we were going to call every corner Evian.
Oh no! It's much better saying Tamburello or Rivazza.
Properly embracing your Italian.
Oh, that's a contact there.
Oh, that's Buller round.
It'd be interesting to see what happened in that corner there, because like I said, Clayton Buller would have had a run on Pepper.
Yeah, he was battling Pepper.
Yeah.
So Pepper's still there in 10th place.
Sorry about that, Steve.
Oh, there we have it.
An apology
Clayton
there.
Buller apologising.
Yes. Fine, no problem. It's all friendly racing. Hard but fair. That's all we ask.
Definitely. Nice friendly rivalry between the animals, but... So, in all of that, so Martinez has now got past Pepper, and Greening is looking very racy. I want to get back past. You can see Greening straight over to the right hand side there, which will be the inside line for Variante Alta. But not close enough to make it work. Meanwhile, Innes is right on the back of Le Chatelier. Will he be close enough to make that work? He goes for it late on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Just about, but Le Chatelier does the old switcheroo, the cutback, and looks like Kishka's gonna get the move on. Innes there couldn't get it slowed down, went very wide, and looks like Innes has not got the place, and it looks like he's about to lose that place. So he will be absolutely kicking himself for that. And Kishka's going to have a run on Le Chatelier. And they're slow. Innes has to slam on the brakes as those two make slight contact in the middle of Tamburello.
Mises got a run on him, not on Innes there.
Mises did have a run, yeah, but has bailed out of it. These two are teammates, of course, so they will be trying to obey the number one rule of racing, which is don't take out your teammate. But Pepper, I think this will be after Pepper's drive through now on the back of Kelly. Will he have a run down into Villeneuve? He's close, but probably not quite close enough. And in fact, no, he wasn't close enough to make a move there. We've got two side by side for the lead, and oh yes, that's a bit of a car park there.
Yeah, Pepper had just lost the back end there, and it took him round. There's nothing he could do. He's obviously parked on the outside. At that point, you're just basically hoping that nobody makes contact with you on the outside of the corner, and obviously the cars behind just didn't. They couldn't quite. Here we go. We see there. As you can see, he's lost the rear end, and the cars behind just couldn't react in time, and he sensibly he's reversed off the track and out the way until he can get it sorted.
Yeah, but crucially, as soon as he did have that spin, he held his brakes rather than try and get on gas and get back onto the racing line.
You've got to feel for James. I do. He's put so much effort into this race, and he's done probably about 20 or 30 hours practice, and for it to just fall apart, it should be a bit unfortunate for the lad.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But anyway, we have new race leaders. So we have Maxwell has now taken over the race lead from Murphy. Molarin and Hugavin are still in this race. They are third and fourth. And we have Innes now still on the back of Kishka.
He's a little bit closer at the moment, so he's maybe looking to try and get a run through these next few corners to try and get past him and onto the back of Le Chatelier. Go on, I'll let you do it.
Indeed, and and something must have happened to Meesters, because Meesters, we did have both the cool camel greens right next to each other.
There's one spin in the back. I think that was Stephen Greening again.
That was Greening.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure what's happened to Meesters. We now know what's happened to Greening. Messenger now onto the back of Bright. And unable to find a way past at the moment. That is Dan LaHaye going sideways. Has he still got no rear bodywork?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure if he knows, to be honest. I would have thought that Dan would have been in for repairs if he'd have known.
You'd have thought so, yeah. I mean, quite how he's not had the meatball flag yet. That's and Jake Weaver there getting a penalty. 16-second stop go for gaining time illegally. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Whether it's a slowdown that he didn't serve.
Is he a mob boss or something?
Oh, here's what happened to Meesters. He's now side by side with Pepper. So he traded a green camel for a blue camel flight. Meanwhile, Hugavin is now back ahead of Molarin. So Molarin, after they both had that off, Molarin was ahead momentarily, but Hugavin has managed to find a way back past. Meanwhile, Maxwell is still leading from about a second from Alex Murphy.
Yeah, it's very tight to the top, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. Just, well, a second covers the leading pair. As we see, this is Joshua Martinez onto the back of Innis, who's still not able to find a way back past Kishka. As we see, that's Dan Hill going very wide there. He'll be picking up off tracks for that.
These
down there.
Go on, my apologies, mate. You carry on.
Right, down there, still managing to stay ahead of Tome for the moment. Now they've got Sebastian Kolczynski not too far behind.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's great to have these old F1 tracks. They're very difficult to overtake. Oh, that was a bit close there. A bit getting blocked there.
Yeah, that's Innis to the inside of Kishka. He's got Hugavin trying to go around the inside of both of them. We've got Dan LaHaye now with all of his rear bodywork, just rejoining
at
that point.
Sorry.
That was it. I think that was another brown flag moment.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
So Innis now ahead of Kishka, and he's 2.5 seconds behind Le Chatelier, so he'll want to get the hammer down and try and close that gap.
Oh, looks like Stephen Green around again.
That's Green around again, yeah.
That's completely, utterly unlike Stephen Green for making mistakes like that.
It certainly is, yeah. As we see Pepper going a little bit wide there, Kolczynski taking advantage of that and keep to the inside down into Aquaminerale.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of self-preservation there with the GTP coming through the corner there, and Steve Pepper obviously taking it rather, a lot wider than he would normally have done, and trying to keep out of the way out of 4X. There's no point taking damage and 4X for no good reasons, really.
And is this Tsuzuki straight past Kishka, but Kishka does exactly the same to Tsuzuki. That happened to Innis earlier. Tsuzuki, late on the brakes, got the move done under braking, but Kishka with an absolutely brilliant example of the switchback. The cutback, the old switcheroo, whatever you like to call it. And up the front, Murphy has really gained on Maxwell now. Murphy now just 0.3 behind Maxwell.
We've not seen anything from Crook, so he's completely checked out at the front. 4.5 seconds, 4.7 seconds in front of Ollie Ettridge there. So Ollie's really got his work cut out in this next 57, 58 minutes to try and catch him and pass him. So I mean, I said that if there's one person that can do it, it's capable of it, it is Ollie. So Crook's going to still have to put in the lap times and keep it consistent and clean. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that develops at the front.
Indeed, and Ettridge, certainly worth pointing out that he's 10.5 seconds ahead of Murphy in third, so yeah, he's certainly got eyes firmly fixated forwards. That's fun to say when you're drunk.
Who says I'm not? That was Ryan Suzuki going straight through the side there. He's taking the position and he's worked that well.
Indeed. So up next it will be Joshua Martinez to see if he can get past Kishka. Kishka meanwhile will most definitely be defending with all his might. Now, Steve, it's probably about that time in the race where we should probably talk about strategy and pit stops.
We should do indeed. What do you fancy talking about with pit stops and strategies then?
So, it's worth pointing out that all cars will have to stop for fuel. so they do not have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. So I think GTPs have to stop twice, I believe.
I think it is, yeah.
GT3s, I think the plan is for them to stop twice normally, but they will be able to get the majority of the way through this race on a tank, so they'll only need to do one pit stop for this round, but for future rounds they will likely need to do 2.
And also they're looking at the time they'll be spending in the pits for fuel. They'll be able to change tyres as well. And an hour and a half race, 90-minute race, it would be advisable for those tyres to be changed, because I don't think they'll last the full 90 minutes.
I think they probably would just about make it to the end. Grip would start to go though, and as you say, there's no real reason why you wouldn't take tyres. If you're having to come into the pits to get some fuel anyway.
That's it.
Meanwhile, we've got Martinez now onto the back of Kiszka. Suzuki's managed to pull a bit of a gap out from Kiszka.
Yeah, I think it's because Kiszka's actually trying to defend here from Joshua Martinez, and it's given Ryan that little bit of a break, so he's making the most of what he can get, to be honest, doing really well.
Indeed, Martinez looked like he might have had a little bit of a dive into Ravazza, but he thought better of it. Tried to get a better exit, get the slipstream. He's pulling out to get a bit of slipstream from Chris Forrester in the GTP there. Not quite close enough for a look into Tamburello, it doesn't appear. He's going to have to be very late on the brakes.
Long way back. He's only 4 tenths back. He's so close, but yeah, it's not the easiest track to pass on, is it, Imola? It isn't. No, you've just got to line it up, maybe 2 or 3 corners in advance, and make sure you're certainly down the start-finish straight. You need to be really on the power a lot sooner than the car in front to take advantage of the slipstream and then the length of the straight.
Yeah, so I think we've seen 1 or 2 moves into Tamburello. The other place where we've seen quite a few moves is out of Variante Alta and into Ravazza, but as we've seen quite a few times, it's so easy to just go slightly too deep on the brakes and either go into the gravel or leave yourself vulnerable for the old switcheroo.
It is, especially down to Ravazza, because obviously the track down to Ravazza 1, it's very steep as the hill, and it's quite easily to misjudge the braking for it and slide straight off.
Indeed, as we see Hugovin and Tome are both in the pits. So that, I would assume, is a scheduled pit stop. So we see Innes has now caught right back up to Le Chatelier. As Winslade zooms past them in the GTP. We've got Martinez still behind Kiszka. No way through into Tamburello. Although he was later on the brakes. Not quite close enough. Now, I'm not sure, is that a little bit of damage on the front of Martinez's car?
I think it could well be.
We see him look to the inside into Villeneuve, but not, again, still not close enough. He hugs the inside into Tozer.
I'm not sure it's damage or whether it's just actually his livery. It looks as though it's just the grey or the silver that gives that illusion of damage on the front.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I think you could be right. Either way, there certainly could be a bit of damage if Martinez can't get past Kiszka, because he certainly looks like he's got the pace. Will he start getting frustrated? Kiszka, you've got to say, he's defending absolutely brilliantly, just placing the car exactly where it needs to be placed.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But as I say that, commentator's curse, Martinez up the inside, and that's the move done. It looked like he was very late on the brakes, and in fact, Kiszka has got a much better exit. Will Kiszka be able to fight back into Ravazza? He's
going for it.
Close.
He'll be around the outside,
Martinez,
though.
Indeed, Martinez defends the inside line well. Can he get it slowed down well enough? Yes, he can.
It's all about the exit from that corner, then now down the start finish straight.
And Kiska had a little mistake halfway through Rivatsa, and he's dropped off the back of Martinez a little bit. So that looks like that could be game over. Meanwhile, you've got this is Molarin now in 5th, on the back of Winslade in 4th. Winslade's up 13 positions, so I'm wondering if he's going slightly longer.
Possibly.
If maybe all the others have pitted.
Yeah, maybe he's managed to eke out his allocation of little bits of fuel.
Indeed. Or maybe Winslade's just had an absolutely incredible run that we in the commentary box have missed.
I think
we'll find out in half a lap or so. As we see, that's Clayton Buller in the GT3 being passed by Bright and Messenger in the GTPs, as we see confirmation that Pepper's got a drive-through, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's easy done on this track though. All you need is a couple of through off tracks and maybe a spin or slight contact, and the next thing you're driving through the pits waving at everybody and your teammates, so easily done. Oh, that was a GTP sideways.
We've got confirmation of a lead change. Murphy has gone past Hugavin, and Winslade, I was just about to say that Winslade's already stopped, so he's had an absolutely storming race, as we see confirmation of a penalty. So he will have to come into the pits. It's a huge change, because he was doing absolutely brilliantly.
He was, yeah, very strong running there.
And very unfortunate that we haven't been seeing more of him on screen.
It is. That's just a replay there. So, Daniel, I think it was it Daniel? Can't see the number
was
from
Daniel, and that was Kishka as well involved in that one.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but it's one of those places where you really do take a chance when you're trying to pass at that very nice altar.
So we're approaching halfway through this race. As we see, GTP is around the outside. Oh, there was a little contact there. That was, I think that was Zhao Tome on Ryan Dazuski. You see, that was Innis getting a little bit forced out wide there as the GTPs come through. And we have another lead change. That's Hugavin getting past Murphy. So I'll say the big winners and losers in the first sort of half of the race. Hugavin's certainly the winner, as is Murphy, who's up 4 spots. Molarin has dropped back slightly. That's certainly how the top 4 have played out in GTP. In GT3, the top 3 are as they started. Oh, there's a car going sideways. That was Glugakeki. Yes, that was Glugakeki.
Now got a rear wing missing.
He has. Maybe he's been speaking to Dan LaHaye.
Possibly so.
Oh, we'll see if he pits.
Gotta love it.
Martinez there, getting a little bit frustrated with some contact. Glugakeki hasn't pitted. So maybe that's the thing. I mean, we saw last year. Was it Don Parker at was it Sebring, where he ran pretty much the entire race with no bodywork and still managed to get a podium?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was definitely Sebring, because he had his front end was completely gone after the incident.
Yeah, I'm sure someone else tried it at Watkins Glen as well, but maybe I'm making that bit up.
Jake Weaver there. It's nice to see Jake on track. Oh, so my apologies. It was nice to see Jake on track.
So yeah, we'd definitely rather see Jake on track rather than Jake getting loose and going through the gravel.
Being American, maybe he saw a barbecue in the distance and decided he was going to try it. No, hopefully there was enough run off there to stop any mishap, and Jake can rejoin the track. It's nice to see him back.
That it certainly is. But meanwhile, we've got a...
Graham, thanks for that move back there.
Someone's not particularly happy. Not quite sure what that's about. Here's Molarin on the back of Maxwell. Molarin now starting to drop back slightly as that was Barty with a four-wheel drift. That was certainly not the optimal way to go through a corner, but probably one of the most fun ways to go around a corner.
That's it. Not technically correct, but it'll do.
So here we have the 1 versus the 001. Molarin versus Maxwell. They are... I believe both of these guys are in the Acura.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Now, I always find the GTPs are a lot harder to tell apart than the GT3s. With the GT3s, you can look at a Ferrari and know it's a Ferrari, but
yeah,
certainly with the GTPs, I find it a lot harder to tell.
Yeah, a lot of the times they're designed using the same sort of schematic, and there's very, very little difference. Maybe the lighting, or slightly at the front, or the rear wing, but the rest of the car is almost identical.
Apart from Messenger in the BMW, I can tell that's a BMW from a mile away. Just because of that front grille, so iconic.
Definitely.
Like two big gaping nostrils. You see Dan LaHaye with a drive-through. We're going to see what that's for. Yes, we are. What happened? Oh, just lit up the rear on exit. I'm not sure if there was a little bit of contact there as well.
I don't think there was, but there's always a chance that when cars get
that's Tazuki round.
Yeah. Those tyres are obviously going a bit off at the moment, and there's a few drivers struggling.
Indeed. So as we see Molarin now trying to get past Maxwell. Molarin is on the inside, as we see Suzuki's got a drive-through as well. Molarin has made that move stick. He managed to get it stopped into Ravazza. And he will now start charging after Murphy. Meanwhile, Martinez is on the back of Le Chatelier. So, hang on, Le Chatelier... When did Innes get past Le Chatelier?
I'm 100% sure, to be honest.
Because Innes is now chasing down Chalcraft. I'm not sure I saw what happened there. Either way, there we saw
that must have been while watching other things.
Must have been, yeah. We'll have to see how that plays out. And I've got Messenger all over the back of Bright. He dives to the inside, and can he get it stopped? Just about! He looked like he was going wide there. Not quite sure how he managed to keep that on track.
The air brakes on that stabby goose were working overtime then.
They most certainly were. And with that, we are just over halfway through this race.
We are.
How time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, always fun with you, Mark.
I'm glad to hear it. All the viewers at home are thinking, oh, we've got another 40 odd minutes of this. These two guys talking absolute nonsense.
The lunatics. They left the asylum.
Thanks, Jake.
Meanwhile, we have... So, Maxwell's got back past Molarin.
Doing my best.
So, yeah, I missed when that happened, but they are now... They've caught up. They're putting a lap on Lewis McMahon. Yeah, that is most definitely Maxwell ahead of Molarin, so I'm not quite sure what happened, whether Molarin made a mistake or whether Maxwell just managed to get back past through. Maybe there was traffic. Talking of traffic, Molarin looked like he was going to try and go around the outside, but got boxed in behind the GT3. And now has a drive-through for 2 instant points, and Gotta admit, that was such a smart move there by Maxwell.
Boxing
He
him
knew
in.
exactly where to place his car. Yeah, box him in behind some of the slower cars. Yeah, that was a brilliant piece of racecraft there from Maxwell.
Definitely. Yeah, it was very clever. Use the slower cars to take advantage.
As we see, oh, that's Le Chatelier going round after contact with Crook. So Crook must have made his pit stop. Yeah, Crook was leading comfortably, so not sure why he would be.
Fucking hell, Rob, calm down.
Wow, that is Gareth Winslade hitting the sausage curbs.
It's a bit hot there as well, heading towards the rear of Messenger. Managed to get it stopped though.
Indeed. So we've got Greening tucked up behind Buller. Greening in the risky racing BMW. And oh, that looked like a bad exit there for Buller, so can Greening get past? He will be on the inside into Ravazza. And yep, he's got that move done. I think Buller might have backed out of that one, to be honest.
Yeah, possibly being on the outside, and obviously with the GTP passing as well. I suppose Clayton was in the mind of keep it safe, don't do anything silly.
Certainly, with an hour and a half race, it's certainly more about survival rather than outright pace. As we see Tannehill now getting past John Cook around the outside of the GTP. Messenger now closing in on Tomei. 7/10 of a second between them. And we see Chowcraft in the pits in the GT3. That promotes Innes up to 4th. Brook now just 3 seconds behind Innes, but in fact he's quite a long way off the lead. He's about 45, 46 seconds off the lead.
Yeah.
So that should be enough to comfortably retake the lead once Ettridge pits. You would have thought. Unfortunately, it's not like Formula 1 with the sort of the 2-second pit stops. Fortunately, these ones do take a little bit of a while.
I think it's about 40 seconds for a pit stop.
Yeah, there are thereabouts, yeah. As you see, flash the lights for Ben Crook as he gets past Pepper. Pepper is a lap down. So, yeah, won't want to be fighting that one too hard. We can see there, Crook rapidly closing in on Innes. Innes, of course, yet to make his pit stop.
Yeah, these GT3s can go about 55, 57 minutes. So we'll be looking at the next 5 minutes. There'll be a rush of cars going into the pits.
Meanwhile, here's another man who's running a relatively quiet but absolutely stonking race. Don Parker, up 3 positions. He's up to 5th.
That's Rich Meesters closing on Clayton Buller as well now.
Indeed, Camels versus Llamas. Meesters, yeah, just half a second behind Buller. Not quite sure that I'd want to be that close to a Llama's backside, but
Oh, unfortunately, that's James Pepper round again.
Indeed. In fact, Parker, I was saying before that he was having an absolutely stonking race. He's only half a second behind Rob Miller.
Yeah?
And we know Rob Miller is certainly no slouch.
Definitely not, no.
He's certainly one of the quickest guys in the LoA Adhesion. And yeah, so Parker, to be that close, having a really good race.
Route 3 wide into that corner. Ooh.
Certainly another code brown. And as we see both GTPs go wide. Tomei went slightly wide, Messenger went even further wide.
I was surprised there wasn't a slowdown there for Messenger as well.
Me too. So, fighting position between Pepper and Kelly. Oh, just 2/10 between them. Also 2/10 between these two, Tomei and Messenger, as they get past Innes. Innes now up to third, having not pitted yet.
Yeah, another solid race there for Mark Innes.
Back end getting a little bit loose there for Tomei. With a flash of the lights as he tries to get past the GT3 of John Cook. Meanwhile, Messenger still unable to find a way past Tomei. They go through Piratella and down to Aqua Minerale. He'll be using all of the tools at his disposal. We've got anti-roll bars that you can adjust in these things. You've got the hybrid deployment system that you can change. So these cars do have a battery that you can charge up and then release for a little bit of extra power if you need it. Messenger getting close, but he's just not close enough to be able to squeeze past. You see, there's now a penalty for Chris White, 2 many instant points, and Rich Meesters as well. So that's where I'm starting to get a bit lost as to who has and hasn't pitted. I think GTPs as well will have to pit twice, and I don't think I've seen anyone make their second stop yet.
No, not yet. I think we need to get onto our overlay team and get them to put stops on so we know who's stopped and how many times they have done. There's a flash of the lights there from, I think it was that Carl Hudson, not happy there with the pass that was made.
Yeah, and I think with Tomei under so much pressure from Messenger, both of these guys will be wanting to use absolutely every inch of the track. And unfortunately, sometimes there's a GT3 in that piece of track. So these guys have got to remember to be careful and make sure they survive to the end of the race.
It's Clayton Bull down in 12th there.
Indeed, and I heard the pit lane siren go off, which means that someone's in the pits, and it was Rich Meesters. I think that was a surface drive-through.
That's Graham Barger there with a fantastic looking livery.
No, whoever designed that is absolutely brilliant livery designer.
Well, it was Steve Pepper. if anybody does fancy a livery or whatever, he's open to offers. So he's yeah. To be honest with you, and Graham did make a contribution for the livery, and the contribution has gone to Martin House. It's a charity for children in Wetherby.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it's a children's hospice, so all funds are needed to give the kids a bit of a break and look after them a bit.
Yeah. Tell you what, Steve, Ettridge is extending the gap to Crook. So Crook, having pitted, he was sort of 45 odd seconds back. He's now 53 seconds, 53, 54 seconds behind Ettridge. So yeah, Crook's lost a lot of time. So it'll be interesting to see when Ettridge just comes out, if he can jump Crook and come out ahead.
Yeah, it depends whether Crook has been held up with traffic as well, so that'll be interesting to see.
Well, this is the reason why.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how he's got through the traffic compared to how Ollie's been in clear air, basically.
Nice, we'll have to watch that and see when they pit, and that is Tome with a penalty. So you've got a drive through and a 15-second stop go, I think, so that very much puts the nail on the coffin of his fight.
It does, really. Yeah, that's a big loss.
So Messenger will now be released, but yeah, you can look at that, he's 24 seconds back from Kolczynski. So here is Ben Crook now, still caught up behind Martinez.
Ryan, can I ask why you're actively defending a blue flag?
Martinez there, not particularly happy with behaviour under blue flags. Of course, in the limit of adhesion, it is encouraged to not do silly things under blue flags. So we see a car off there. I didn't catch who that was. That was a GT3 in the gravel.
Yeah, fingers crossed we get some sort of replay or notification who's gone off.
Looking at the standings board, you can't see anyone dropping like a stone.
Yeah, it must be somebody further back.
Oh, that was very close there for Alex Murphy. Trying to thread the needle and just about managed to, and it's one of those moves where if you get it right, you look like a hero. If you get it wrong, you look like an absolute muppet. Murphy very much looking the hero on that occasion. Judge that to perfection. As you see, there's this big gaggle of GT3s. So we've got Cook and Tadzuski fighting for position, but they are both a lap down on Martinez and Crook, as we see Martinez into the pits. So that releases Crook slightly, but is it too little, too late? Has the damage already been done?
Oh, that was close. Threading the... and he's gone off.
And yep, he's off. That was Rob Miller after that fight with Parker. Parker is through and released.
Yeah, it just looked as though he went a little bit deep, did Rob there, and just couldn't quite make the corner at the end.
And to top it all off, he's now got a drive-through for too many instant points.
Oh, double-edged that. Oof.
Ettridge in the pits. I submit he's gone very long, as Ettridge, and well, as has Pratt and Innes as well. Because all three of those have gone over an hour on a GT3 tank.
Yeah, they've done really well to eke it down that much.
Coming up to the back of Lewis and that was a slow-moving Ture Molarin. What's happened to Molarin?
Like all of that.
Here we go.
Is that...
Oh,
lock to the rears.
Look, Smurf on turf.
Brilliant.
It doesn't stick on turf though.
It most certainly does not, no. So as we see, Renwick still unable to find a way past McMahon. That is for the last of the points paying positions. That's another fun thing to say when you're drunk.
Ollie Ettridge out front now, 12 seconds in front of Innes.
Yep, so there we go. So Innes hasn't pitted yet. Ettridge has. And there we go. Ettridge managed to pull out such a gap on Crook that he could pit and still come out ahead.
Yeah, he's made 14 seconds on Ben Crook there.
Well, he's come out 14 seconds ahead. Don't forget, he was a good sort of 5 seconds or so back before the pit stop.
That's true, yeah.
Middle part of the race has been absolutely phenomenal there for Ettridge.
Yeah, a stonking drive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the cause of the initial pit stop was for Crook, because that was an early stop.
I'm just wondering whether he had the wrong fuel in here. Just whether a wrong amount of fuel. Just a possibility, I don't know.
It's certainly a possibility. Yeah, but certainly if that was a scheduled pit stop and he meant to come in that early, he will be having a word with his strategists.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether he planned on a 2-stop strategy and carried it through.
Could well have done, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ben, because it's just not quite worked for him. As we see, is that Innes going into the
Camel into the pits? It is Innes.
Yeah, going into the pits there.
For an hour and 5 in the GT3 tank.
That's good going.
That is good going, yeah. I think he's surprised even himself with how long he stayed out. But we'll see where he filters back into the field. Meanwhile, it's all action down into Varianti Alta. And that's Kishka giving a little kish to the back of Le Chatelier.
It'd be interesting to see where these drivers are all from, these that have joined us.
Yeah, it's always good to meet new people and to chat to some of the drivers in the Discord. So, yeah, if we've been speaking about you, yeah, just drop us a message and say hello. Introduce yourself, tell us where you're from. As we see, that's a pass for the lead. Maxwell takes over the lead from Hugavin. I think Hugavin's pitted, because that's released Parker up to 2nd. Meanwhile, Innes has come out of the pits in 7th. So he's just behind Chalcraft. Sorry, he's just behind Martinez.
Martinez, yeah.
And yeah, Innes was a good sort of 10 seconds or so behind Chalcraft, so he'll be pleased with that. Meanwhile, we've got Greening right on the back of Le Chatelier. That's 2 into 1. Don't go. That's Carl Hudson and Ryan Suzuki.
Yeah, that was a little bit. What was that?
Oh, that's Miller into the wall.
That with Ryan was a little bit enthusiastic, I think we should say. Optimistic.
Yes, that's a very politically correct way of wording things.
Pepper for president.
So, as we look, there are the confirmations of who's pitted. So we can see confirmation that Hugavin has made his 2nd stop. Maxwell, Parker and Koshinski are yet to pit.
See, if you ask, it appears.
So maybe we can speak to our overlay providers about getting £1 million transferred into my bank account. Do you think that will that happen?
As long as it gets 50% for me, I'm not bothered.
Deal.
Excellent.
As we see, oh, that's a spin for Ettridge, our GT3 race leader.
He should have enough time to recover there, and he's got a good 9 seconds, so yeah, he should be able to get out in front of Ben Crook and on his way.
As we see this fight between Childcraft and Martinez raging on. Innes will be liking the look of that, because the more they fight, the more he can catch up and potentially join this battle.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Martinez gets on with the Audi, because the Audi has a nasty habit of killing drivers. We saw it last the GT3 season even, and there was somebody in, I can't remember where it was, at the Audi, he was at Spa, and all of a sudden just speared off left for no reason at all.
Yes, I remember that. That was
it? I can't remember what it was now.
Was it Evan Concepcion?
It could have been Evan.
Lead, I think.
Yeah, he just all of a sudden going down towards from Brussels, wasn't it? It was from Porn down to Brussels, I think it was. Yeah. And he just left the track and went boing straight out. It's like, amazing. Contact.
Here we go. So that is again Childcraft with that genius technique of boxing in behind a slower car. He's been watching the GTP drivers, and this has brought Innes right into play. Don Parker now in the lead of the GTPs after Maxwell's pitted. And this is getting very dicey. We've got a spinning car in the background. That's Carl Hudson. Parker is safely through 1, 2. He makes a dive on the third GT3, and he's safely past them all. That's certainly a brown flag moment. And we see Joshua Martinez putting a wheel into the gravel. That's given Innes the run. Innes round the outside. Can he get power down early? He's still side by side, but Martinez will have the inside line into the next corner. And Innes is gone.
Has he got that £1,000,000?
I think maybe he has.
Oh dear.
So Innes has activated his cloaking device in his car.
That could only be...
He's now gone into stealth mode.
That's such a shame for Mark, because he was having such a strong race, and to have a failure like that, just my heart goes out to him. That was instant.
But it was instant. But yeah, I guess mechanical failures are always a part of racing. So as unfortunate as it is, unfortunately, that's racing. And to be fair, iRacing doesn't really simulate mechanical failures. So yeah, there we go, and it's showing us Mark Innes needs repair. I'm not sure whether that's for his equipment or for his car. As we see confirmation there, after Maxwell has been through the pits, Hugavin has now retaken the lead. Maxwell, in all that, has gotten back past Alex Murphy. So I thought Murphy was ahead of Maxwell, at least earlier on in the race.
Yeah, that might have been swapped round in the pits.
Could well have been, yeah. So, meanwhile, in fact, Hugavin's got an absolutely stonking lead. That's sort of appeared out of nowhere. He's now got a 24-second gap up front. Back to this pair, Maxwell and Murphy. Two more Wizards. So we've got a Wizards 1, 2, 3. As they try and navigate the GT3 traffic safely. They then have a 10-second gap back to Parker, who's found himself only just ahead of Molarin. Molarin, of course, had that drive-through penalty. So I believe this is after all pit stops, so this is sort of a genuine fight.
I'm just looking at the screen, Mark, and I'm absolutely in awe of the track map. There isn't one piece of track that's not got a car on it.
It is brilliant, isn't it?
It's mad. Fantastic, but mad.
You are certainly right there. So with 60... Oh, that's a double wizard spin! What happened there?
No,
that just came out of nowhere.
Cheers, Jake.
I'm lost for words there.
So we see that's in the replay, James Renwick locking the rears under braking and his spin. So that was Murphy having to slam on the brakes because he didn't want to dive bomb the GT3, which is sensible. But then I think Maxwell got a little bit caught out by the sudden deceleration and sort of Murphy just stopping in the corner.
Yeah, it looked like Murphy had slammed all on and started to lose the rear end. And also Maxwell, because obviously he thought that Murphy was going to go through the corner, he was braking at his normal rate of brake and then realised that he wasn't going to get round, braked hard, and he lost the rear end as well.
Indeed. So this is the battle for fourth, Parker versus Molarin. Both Murphy and Maxwell have rejoined the race. It's unclear whether they've got damage, and if so, how much they've got. And, well, there is confirmation of how much damage Maxwell's got. He's gone straight to the pits.
Yeah, it's a sensible thing.
That puts this battle between Molarin and Parker, that's now for the final place on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, it's sensible. However, there's only 15 minutes left of the race, so could he have eked it out a little bit? Who's to know?
And I suppose Maxwell's probably going to come out. Well, it depends how bad the damage is. He might lose a few places, but if the car becomes undrivable and he ends up shoving it in the barrier because he's got too much damage, that's going to lose him an awful lot more positions.
Very true.
So, certainly the right thing to do. Let's make sure we're safe. And, this is Martinez and Chalcraft.
Alex Murphy's got a drive-through as well, so...
He does indeed.
So the time that Stephen Maxwell's taken for his repairs will be negated by the fact that Alex Murphy's got the drive-through.
Yeah, so of course that drops Maxwell down to 6th. He's back out on the road. So that now promotes this pair, Parker and Molarin. That'll be for 2nd and 3rd.
Correct, yeah. And Kolczynski, he could be passing as well, so he could be promoted to 4th.
He could well be, yeah. In fact, just looking at the times, yeah, Murphy's in the pits now. He'll come out way behind Kolczynski. As we see there, there is Kolczynski going past the pit exit and up to 4th place on the road. Murphy has rejoined ahead of Maxwell.
I have to say that I'm quite disappointed in Ben Chalcraft. I expected to see, not the Sky livery, I expected to see Seabrooks. So I'm a little bit disappointed there, Ben. Get it sorted.
I think we might need to explain to viewers that aren't from Yorkshire.
This is very true. Ben runs a series through Chav Draycott, and Ben and Mike Murphy, who are teammates, they run liveries in their team with Seabrook Crisps, which is very local to where Ben is. If anybody wants to try some crisps, try Seabrook. Fantastic. It's well worth it, especially the lemon mint ones.
Bear that in mind. So we've got Lugakeki on screen now in 17th. So he's trying to get past Lewis McManaman for 16th, but they are a lap apart. So that is Lugakeki trying to unlap himself. So with 11 minutes and 50 seconds left to go, but Lugakeki to the inside, he backs out of it. I think it's always a risky one. It's annoying if you know you're faster, but at the end of the day, You never want to be ruining someone's race with a risky overtake when
better,
you're a lap down.
The better part of valour. There's got to be some sort of sense and sensibility comes into it, and that's Steve Pepper, the drive-through. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of like sense comes into it. Although you are quick, you'll be quicker on the other part of the track as well. So you just got to line them up for a different corner and take advantage of that, rather than doing a silly move that could wreck both your races.
Meanwhile, this fight for second is still raging on. Molarin breathing down Parker's neck. That's Steve Pepper being very gentlemanly and getting out of the way of this battle.
Yeah, I think he'll be coming round to serve his drive-through penalty again.
Yes, of course. They used to have been pretty much tied together all race, Le Chatelier and Kishka. Le Chatelier just half a second down, as we saw James Renwick in the GTP side by side. Blugakeki had to go through the pits. Not quite sure what that was for, whether that was for damage or what, but still this fight between Parker and Molarin rages on. So we've got 10 minutes, so that's what, about 7 laps or so?
Yeah, I would think so.
Parker has to hang on. Kozinski now 5.5 seconds back or so, so it's looking like it'll be those two on the podium. It's just, yeah, who's going to be on the higher step? We think Hugovin's just checked out at the front. He's entered full Max Verstappen mode.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be tight though, running into the last 9 minutes, 10 minutes.
Certainly with these GT3s, we've got Clayton Buller there. Parker gets through. Will Molarin try and follow through?
He did, but he didn't make it.
That puts a little bit of a gap between Molarin and Parker. The gap's now 1 second. But traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. We could quite easily see Parker get held up in the next few laps.
Yeah, I'll be wanting to get out of that second gap so he can start pull away and stop giving Ture the slipstream. But he's still in there, 8, 9 tenths.
So we see these two, Kishka and Le Chatelier, still nose to tail. Probably just looking at the standings board, those two, and right on the back of Kelly, probably two of the closest fights that we've got on track at the moment. Kelly's another one that we've not really spoken about. He's had quite a sort of, I don't want to say an anonymous race, but he's just sort of kept his head down, pumped in some good laps, and made up a couple of positions.
Yeah, Gavin Kelly's having a strong race. He's up 2 positions, like you say, but it's just about keeping it clean and safe and picking up the points and the places as you go. There's no reason why he can't maybe make up another 1 or 2 places in the last 7.5 minutes, just based on if there's drive-throughs and incidents and accidents.
Oh, Kishka's through on Le Chatelier.
Yeah, it's a nice little move there, and he's broken away as well.
And crucially, Pratt, who was our final podium placeholder in the GT3s, got a drive-through. So that's promoted Murphy up to the podium. Worth pointing out at this point that we do have 2 Murphys. I know we've been talking about Murphy a lot in this race, but it's the other Murphy that's now on the podium in GT3. We've got Alex Murphy and Mike Murphy.
It'd be very telling if he was doing GTPs and GT3s.
Well, you never know. We've got quite a few guys. Well, I say quite a few guys. There's at least one guy that I can think of that I remember at the Daytona 24. He was racing in both the GTP and the LMP2 class, like during the same race.
Yeah.
I've completely forgotten who it was. I think a lot of people are now screaming at the TV screen with his name. I can picture him as well, I just can't think who it is, and it's going to bug me now, but... Tell you what, let us know in the comments!
Yeah, like, subscribe and comment!
All that YouTube algorithm stuff.
Exactly. And I see it was Ryan Suzuki right at the back bumper of Clayton Buller there, and that's going to be tight for that place.
And here is that battle that we were talking about, Kelly versus Bright. Bright now just 0.3 of a second back, and here we've got Suzuki on the back of Buller.
That Merc sounds so good.
Oh, it really does. Fight for second overall still ongoing.
Oh, that's done park around.
Oh,
It keeps you out of the wall though.
commentator's curse, but he got a drive through.
Oh no! And a drive through for Ryan Suzuki as well, so both battles ruined by drive throughs.
That's such a shame. So we'll see how far that drops Parker down. Parker now deciding that he doesn't really need to stick to the track.
That's the one we get back to pits.
Ben Keating. That's the name of the guy who did GTP and LMP2 in the same race.
Oh, okay.
It was bugging me that. Yeah, it's not the first time he's done it either.
Right.
He's done it a couple of times, I think.
Yeah. I'm a bit short on talent for that.
I'm a bit short on money. And talent.
Well, Mark Innes has just got £1 million and gone.
Either of us on coming.
Maybe he's gone to speak to some teams running Le Mans 24.
Maybe so.
As we see,
Chris White with
more
a drive-through.
drive-throughs.
Yeah, the joys of longer
It's getting
races.
darker.
It is, yeah. I was thinking that it's starting to turn to dusk. Yeah, the joys of these longer races. There's a lot more sweeties in the packet, but it doesn't take so long to eat those sweeties, and all of a sudden you're going through the pits.
Yeah, I think especially when some of the other races that the LoA do are quite generous with their instant limit, it's so easy to just sort of start nibbling off tracks, especially at a track like Imola, which is quite harsh on off tracks.
Yeah, it's
so
notorious.
easy to sort of start nibbling, and then suddenly you're sort of 5 minutes into the race, and oh, I've only got 3 X's left to play with. As we see, that's Tome giving Carl Hudson a little bit of a push.
A little bit clumsy.
Oh, White. Oh, that's so unfortunate for him, having come into the pits to serve his penalty. He's now got another penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Who's that?
That's Chris Forrester trying the alternative rallycross line.
Yeah, that don't work on slicks.
It most certainly doesn't.
So still battling.
Yeah, and Le Chatelier's got back past Kishka. So we'll have to see 2 minutes left. Where are they on track? They've got probably this one, maybe one, and one more, maybe.
Yeah, 1-4. Well, was it 147, 146, 45s? So yeah, there'll be this end of this lap and then one more lap and they should be finishing, I think.
Yeah, but it depends on the GTP leader when they cross the line.
Oh, of course it does.
Lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, maybe 2 more laps for Kishka to fight back. Do we see Molarin's into the pits? I'm not sure why. It didn't pop up as him having a penalty, but Molarin's in the pits, which means that man that we just saw, Kolczynski, is in second place.
Up to second, yeah. I wonder if it's a splash and dash.
Possibly. You would have thought on the so close to the end, you would have hoped that you could have fuel saved to try and make that last lap.
You'd have thought so.
Anyway, Ettridge sets the fastest lap in the GT3 field, the 1:42 was that.
Well, Messenger with the drive-through. Well, it's all altering at the front of the GTPs now.
Oh, Bright, very late on the brakes, trying to get past Kelly, but couldn't make the move. He couldn't get that done.
Oh!
Yeah, well, oh, that's
round.
a spin for Maxwell. Yeah, we've seen that a few times down at Variante Alta. Just getting a little bit too hard on the brakes and locking the rears.
Yeah, once, especially with those cars, once the rear starts to break away, there's no bringing it back.
Definitely not, no.
So time is up.
Time is
0 hours.
Bright still unable to get past Kelly. Messenger's now in the pit lane to serve his drive-through.
And we're showing... Sorry, we're showing that... And that's a checkered flag.
That is a checkered flag. So I don't think Ettridge took the checkered flag there, because the checkered flag must be first shown to the overall winner, which is this man here, Maren Hugevin.
Congratulations, well done. Nice win there, and as you say, Ollie Ettridge is still going round to finish on his final lap. I don't think there's many people that will.
However, has just taken the checkered flag, so Ettridge can now do whatever he wants on this lap. He can go around at 2 miles an hour because he's not going to get overtaken.
Very much so. Yeah, it's a nice little parade lap there for him. Oh,
meanwhile,
two off.
We've got 2 into the gravel. That's Tomei and Forrester. And Tomei with the drive-through that he won't be able to serve because it's the final lap.
35-second penalty, is that?
Could well be, yes. It will certainly be converted to a post-race time penalty. As you see, Ettridge in the last few corners, even. He certainly doesn't look like he's in any hurry. He'll take things nice and steady.
I'm sure he's got his arm out of his window.
Waving to the crowd. And Oliver Ettridge wins for the GT3 class.
Great result there for Oliver Ettridge. Brilliant win. Took charge of that in the middle of the race, and as you see, Zhao Tomei with 35 seconds penalty to be added on.
So here we have confirmation of the race results. So we've got Hugevin from Kolczynski, great result on debut there. Murphy on the podium from Molarin, Parker, Maxwell, Messenger, Kelly, Bright, Hill, Forrester, Brown, Tomei, Renwick and McManaman are the point scorers in the GTP.
And as we see for the GT3s, Ollie Ettridge with a win, followed by Ben Crook. Mike Murphy bringing up the third place for the podium. Jay Pratt, Martinez, Chalcroft, Greening, Le Chatelier, David Ward, Kishka, Marek Kishka, Meisters, Buller, Suzuki, John Cook, Steve Pepper, Graham Barsley, Jake Weaver, Miles, Hudson, McCann and Mark Kelly in 21st. Then we have Rob Miller in a GTP 18th there, Mark Innes, James Pepper, Gareth Winslade, Dan LaHaye, Jacob Hart, Tyler Graff and Simon Norton bringing up the rear in 26th place.
So unfortunately we had a few DNFs in there.
Yeah, towards the end unfortunately.
Oh, and here are confirmation of the stewarding results. So we've got a penalty for David Ward and a penalty for Chris White, a 30-second penalty which drops him from 16th to 17th. And in GT3 we've got quite a few penalties, the only changes being Chris White
Ryan
from 17th
Suzuki
to 18th, and yes, Suzuki going from 13th to 14th, and crucially that's a points paying position.
Yeah. Well, what a race.
What a race indeed.
Standings
And
there,
so
let you
we
go
look
through
at
those.
Championship standings, yes. Funnily enough, it's exactly the same as the race order, given that this was the first race of the season, but Hoogvin already with a lead, 10-point gap, given that he got 50 points for the win and then an extra point for pole and fastest lap as well. Still very much all to play for, given that it was only the first race. You do get 3 drop races, so 3 drop scores, so it's a 10 race championship, your best 7 places score.
Yeah, teams for the GTPs there. That's my apologies, Mark. There.
Got the Wizards on top. Wizards Black Sapphire from Wizards Black Ruby, and we got Speed Eagles are the top animal so far.
We got Frog Watts Racers. Nice.
What was that?
Watts indeed.
Should see GT3 standings. There we go.
Yeah, GT3s once again, as you say, as you were in the race, down to the top 15 will all get points, and that'll obviously change as we go through the season with the races coming up. So yeah, it's looking good at the moment. Lots of new drivers, lots of competition. So I look forward to the coming season. And obviously the only things really it may change is the team standing when we get to that in the GT3s. So 26 drivers there. That's a goodly amount. And I'll just wait for the team standings.
Certainly a nice healthy amount of drivers on the grid.
Definitely. And Risky Racing goes straight to the top there with 66 points, and then JPR Esports, Revolution E-Racing, Minardi Sim Sport, Live Sim Racing, CXW Racing, Speed Eagles, Cool Camel Green and Formula Llama. So the Eagles taking the top spot at the moment.
To admit, the GT3 standings was rather disappointing for all of the animals.
It was, yes, definitely.
Alright, there are the links to our socials. They're also in the description. If you would like to come and race with us, click on the link, go and say hello.
Yeah, it'd be great to have more people. There's more space for more people. Don't worry about that. Come and join us.
Yes, and all that's left to do is say thank you very much for watching this absolutely mammoth first race. My name's been Mark. Joining me in the commentary booth has been Steve.
Thanks, Mark. It's been an absolute pleasure as normal, and I'm looking forward to next time we're around Spa.
Indeed, that'll be a good one. So, thank you for watching. See you later. Goodbye.
Good night to all. Bye for now.